Today we're talking about the three main types of fishing reels. The most common type of reel and also the most versatile type is the spinning reel. It's used by beginners and very experienced anglers and can be used to catch anything from tiny panfish all the way up to giant catfish and saltwater fish. Spinning reels are used with spinning rods and they hang underneath the rod when in use. The handle can be switched anytime between the left and the right sides. Spinning reels are inexpensive and they're easy to use. They offer long, accurate casts, a smooth drag system usually controlled by a rotating dial on the top, and they come in a wide variety of sizes for different applications. To cast a spinning reel, you grab the line with your index finger, open the bail, and make your cast. About halfway through the cast, you let your finger off the line and the lure pulls your line out. After the lure hits the water, you flip the bail back over and you can start reeling the line back in. Spinning reel sizes are usually classified in terms of thousands. A 1,000 size reel is a very small reel meant for light line and small fish. 3,000 or 4,000 size reels are for larger fish like bass, catfish, and pike. These reels go all the way up to 18,000 size for huge saltwater fish. Other manufacturers like Fluger use a different system starting with a size 20, which is comparable to a 1,000 size from other companies, and again the higher numbers like a size 35 or 40 correspond to larger reels. The biggest disadvantage of a spinning reel is line twist, but line twist is mostly preventable. The first rule of a spinning reel is to never crank the reel while a fish is taking out drag. Every time you turn the handle around while your drag is going out, you're adding lots of twists in your line that will eventually result in a big messy knot. The other thing you need to do is add a swivel to your rig if you're using a bait that spins a lot like a spoon or an inline spinner. Now let's talk about Spincast or closed face reels. These are the cheapest type of reels and also the least reliable. The closed face on the reel keeps the components inside protected from water and dirt, but as the wet line accumulates inside the reel, it also seals in a lot of moisture, which will eventually rust the parts inside. Spincast reels are used with casting rods, and they sit on top of the rod when in use. Spincast reels should only be used with line up to about 10 pounds. Anything heavier than that will have a really short casting distance. This type of reel uses a push button on the back to make casting easy for beginners. You push the button in, start your cast, and let go of the button about halfway through your cast to let the line come out. Spincast reels have the shortest and least accurate casts because of the many points of friction within the reel. These reels are mostly used by beginners as they get comfortable casting a fishing rod. The friction of the line coming out against the reel spool and the reel cover act like brakes to keep the line from coming out too quickly and causing tangles. Spincast reels work well for beginners, but I would recommend quickly moving up to a spinning reel, which is much more versatile and enjoyable to use and will last much longer. The third type is the baitcasting reel, specifically the low-profile baitcasting reel. These are small baitcasters that are small enough to fit in your hand and are most commonly used for medium-sized freshwater fish. Baitcasters use a casting rod and sit on top of the rod when in use. They work well with heavy line and are very strong for fishing through heavy cover like thick vegetation or brush. They usually have a drag system knob, a spool tension knob, and a braking system to help prevent a frustrating thing called a backlash or a bird's nest. A backlash is a mess of tangled line caused by the spool continuing to spin after the lure has slowed down at the end of a cast. This can be caused by casting into the wind, making a poor cast, or not adjusting your reel after you switch lures. Backlashes are mostly preventable by controlling the speed of the spool with your thumb, but even very experienced anglers get backlashes. In order to keep backlashes to a minimum, the reel has to be adjusted each time you switch to a lighter or heavier lure. If you don't, you'll be increasing your chance of backlashes or shortening your casting distance. Baitcasters are casted similar to a Spincast reel. You push the button down, press your thumb against the line spool, and then make your cast. You lift your thumb partway through your cast to let the line come out, and then put your thumb back on the line spool as soon as your bait hits the water. Baitcasting reels come in either left or right-handed models. The handle is permanently on one side. They're the most expensive type of reel and also require more regular maintenance. Experienced anglers tend to use a combination of spinning and baitcasting reels. Both of these types are very effective, and each angler develops their preference over years of using them for their particular styles of fishing. I use both of these styles, and I have a couple of Spincast reels too, but those are mainly used when I take my kids or their friends fishing. If you have any questions about fishing reels, leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.